Hello students, welcome to KHC Online Education. Today we are going to start with Vedic Mathematics. What is Vedic Mathematics? Vedic Mathematics is the collective name given to a set of 16 mathematical formula discovered by Jagadguru Swami Sri Bharati Krishna Tirthaji Maharaj. So, he is the person who discovered 16 different formulas and called it as Vedic mathematics. So we are going to start with the basic level of Vedic mathematics. So the first one is few simple methods, crisscross system of multiplication, squaring numbers, cube roots of perfect cubes, and square roots of perfect squares. Few simple methods. These simple methods are fast and effective, okay? They are going to make your calculations easier, but you can apply them only to a particular combination of numbers, okay? So these methods, they are limited to just few calculations only. So the few simple methods include squaring of numbers ending with 5, squaring of numbers between 50 to 60, multiplication of numbers with a series of 9s, with a series of 1s, with similar digits in the multiplier, all from 9 and the last from 10. So these are the things we are going to include in few simple methods. We are going to discuss one by one. In today's class, we are going to discuss two techniques. The first one is squaring of numbers ending with 5, and the other one is squaring of numbers between 50 to 60. So the first one is squaring of numbers ending with 5. What is squaring, first of all? Squaring is multiplying a number by itself. So whenever you multiply a number with itself, we call it squaring. So the first technique is to square numbers ending with 5. So numbers ending with 5 are 55, 65, 85, 35, 105, and so on. Okay. So let's start the technique. To find the square of 65, we will look at the digits first. The digits are 6 and 5. So if the numbers are ending with 5, 5 is for sure. It will always be there, but there will be other digit than 5. So in 65, the number other than 5 is 6, right? Now, look at this. 5 will always be there. What about the other number? We have to think of the number that comes after 6. So that is 7. Now, you multiply 6 times 7, which is equal to 42, and you write it as the left-hand side of your answer. All right? After that, on the right, we have 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. You write it as the right-hand side of your answer. Your multiplication is complete. Therefore, the square of 65 is 4225. Similarly, to find the square of 95, there are two digits, 9 and 5. After 9 comes 10. So we multiply 9 with 10. The answer is 90. On the right-hand side, we have 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. You write it as the right-hand side of your answer. Therefore, the square of 95 is 9025. It is so simple, yes? Now, using the same method, find the square of 105. So, if you want to find the square of 105, the digits other than 5 is basically 10, right? So, after 10 comes 11. So, you multiply 11 with 10. The answer is 110. On the right, we already have 25. So, the answer is 11025. Similarly, after 7 comes 8. So, you multiply 7 with 8. The answer is 56 and 25. Correct? Similarly, after 3 comes 4. So, 4 times 3 is 12 and 5 times 5 is 25. So, the answer must be 1225. You can try the other questions too, thinking of the number that comes after the given number, and you can just calculate the values. And you can verify the answers as well. Now, This rule is applicable not only to the squaring of numbers ending in 5, but also to the multiplication of numbers whose last digits add to 10 and the remaining digits are the same. So what do you mean by that? Right now, while multiplying 65 times 65, one surprising thing was 5 plus 5 is always 10, right? And the remaining two digits were same. So if these kind of situation occurs in other numbers, for example, like if I have to multiply 73 times 77, the first two digits, the tens digits, they are same, while the units digit, they sum up to 10, right? So if this kind of situation occurs, then even in that case, you can use the same multiplication technique. So there are two conditions necessary for this multiplication. To use the same rule, you must have two conditions. The last digits should add to 10 and the remaining digits should be the same. Let us look at an example now. The first example is 66 times 64. In this, 6 plus 4 is 10 and the remaining two digits are same. Therefore, we can apply our rule or method. So after 6 comes a 7, therefore we multiply 6 with 7. The answer is 42. On the right, you have 6 times 4, which is equal to 24. Write it as the right-hand side of your answer. Your answer is complete. So the product of 66 and 64 is 4224. Similarly, if you have to multiply these two numbers, okay, 37 and 33, they are satisfying the condition as the tens digits are same and the units digit add up to 10. Now, after 3 comes 4. So 4 times 3 is 12 and 7 times 3 is 21. Therefore, the answer is 1221. Now, in this question, okay, if you have to multiply 29 times 21, after 2 comes 3, so you multiply 2 and 3, the answer is 6. Now 9 times 1 is 9, but you don't write 9, you write 09, because the right hand part should always be filled with a 2-digit number. Okay, so if you don't have 2 digits, then you insert a 0 and then you make it in the form of 2-digit. So therefore the answer is 609. Rest of the questions, you can try it yourself and you can verify your answers as well. If you want to see this, it's again easy. In 107 times 103, the last units digit, they add up to 10, while remaining digits, they are same. After 10 comes 11, so we multiply 11 with 10. The answer is 110. 7 times 3 is 21. Write it as 21 itself. Therefore, the answer is 11,021. Again, you can try these 3 more questions and you can verify your answers as well. Now, the next technique, squaring of numbers between 50 and 60. Now, between 50 and 60 comes many numbers, that is from 51 to 59, right? So now there is a shortcut technique for squaring such numbers which start with 5, okay? To find the square of 57, first of all, we'll prefer the units digit because the tens digit is going to be 5 always, right? So here the units digit is 7. So what do? We know that 5 times 5 is 25, right? So we add the units digit to this 25. The answer is 32. Write it as the left-hand side of your answer. On the right-hand side, you have 7 times 7, right? So when you have 7 times 7, the answer is 49. You complete it as the right-hand part of your answer. Therefore, the square of 57 is 3249. It is that simple, okay? Next, to find the square of 56, the trick is to add the units digit to the product of 5 and 5 or to the square of 5. So, 25 plus 6 is 31. Therefore, you write it as the left-hand part of your answer. On the right-hand part, you have 6 times 6, which is equal to 36, right? So, the answer is 3136. That is the square of 56. Using the same technique, complete the questions out here and you can also verify the answers. Here is a worksheet which you can solve, okay? And you can check your answers later. That's it. based on squaring of numbers ending with 5 and squaring of numbers lying between 50 to 60. Today's lesson, or the lesson for the day, would be the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. That's very true. Yes, more you want to learn, you should practice often and try to use these calculations, try to use these techniques in your day-to-day calculations. That way you will never be able to forget these techniques. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next class.